Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center. We're delighted that all of you are here, and all of you are here to celebrate Shabbat with us. And also, thanks to the wonderful Mukherjee family, we are here to celebrate our good friend Noah's becoming bar mitzvah at long last. So I know this is one of our b'nai mitzvah of the year that we're like, well, maybe 14 will be okay. That'll be okay. And I have to tell you, their Devar Torahs get better the older they get too, so that's all right. It's like a fine wine, this young man. So, but not yet, not till you're 18. 21, never mind. Don't take legal advice from me. I'm going to get to it. Okay, welcome to Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center. We're so delighted that you're here to celebrate our friend Noah becoming bar mitzvah. And thank you to the Mukherjee family for sharing the simcha with us from the bottom of our hearts. And thank you all for being here to celebrate with them and with us Shabbat. And however you're here, you're in the right place. A couple things you should know. First off, this is a musical community. So if you hear singing and you would like to join, you will not upset us. We're not here to put on a show. This isn't Shabbat the musical. I don't know, I think Hamilton tickets go for more than this. So this is a participatory event. So we're here to sing to inspire you to sing along with us. If you know the words, sing. If you don't know the words, also sing. If you just feel the rhythm, if you're a drummer type, like my good friend back there, and you just want to, if you got the rhythm and you just want to tap it out on pews or prayer books or your cat, whatever, please join in, and we'd be delighted if you did. And for the folks joining us through the ether, even if you think we can't hear you, we can feel you, and I know I do some of my best singing on mute. So with that, a couple of just safety things. You'll notice we're not wearing masks up here, we're over here. He's not wearing a mask, he's way over there. Everyone here who is in the audience who are kind of downwind of us, we would be much obliged if you wore masks through the entire service for the duration of the service, regardless of your vaccination status. That is what our communities has sort of agreed to. Anytime we're sort of mixing crowds up here, we'll put on a mask if we go to help something like that. We're trying to keep everybody safe so that we can all get through this as soon as possible. And for that, for everyone here and for everyone out there who's been vaccinated, thank you. God bless you for doing this mitzvah for yourself and for all of us. With that, I'd like to welcome in some angels that escort us through Shabbat. We do this with a traditional tune, Shalom Aleichem, where we welcome in the angels who come and bless us, and as we ascend out of the schmutz of the week, of the day-to-day week into the holiness of Shabbat. We're going to be on page 13. Page 13, please join us.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yasharet, Malachei Elyon. מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך צריכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש together ברוך יה לה 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 יה לה 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 יה לה 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 יה לה 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 צריכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך
And just as when we're welcoming in Shabbat with an increase in the sound of the music in here, we also elevate the lights in this room. And so we're going to begin this service by lighting the Shabbat candles. And I'd like to invite up Karen Lindstone, Dory Mukherjee, and Anna Mukherjee to come light the Shabbat candles for us. Amen. Kol hakavod, well done. As I said before, part of the work of, if I may use that word, of Kabbalat Shabbat is to help us ascend, help us let go of the concerns of the week, and we ascend by scaling a ladder. In our case, that's a ladder of song and prayer, and we start with the first rung, Lachuna Ranana, on page 15. Page 15, please join us.
לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. נריע, נריע לצור אישנו, נקמה פניו בתורה. נריע, נריע לצור אישנו, בזמירות נריע לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. כי אל גדול אדוני הוא מלך גדול על כל אלוהים. כי אלוהינו אנחנו אמן התעצם ידו. ארבעים שנה עקוד ודור ואומר עם תוהה לבבם והם לא ידעו דרכי אשר נשבעתי והפי אם יבואון אל מנוחתי.
Page 16, 16.
ספרו בגויים כבודו בכל העמים נפלאותיו כי גדול אדוני ומורם מאוד נולהו על כל אלוהים יין הקוסם יין הלילה
This psalm that we just sang, it always strikes me because it says, Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash is how it starts. Sing to God a new song. The irony is that we sing this song every single week. And this was true for our sages as well. And they said, how can we sing a new, they read this in the Psalms, how do we sing a new song when we love the same songs? And they said, every time you sing it, you can look at it with new eyes. You can hear it with new ears. You can compose a new tune. But every time, you can sing it like it's fresh. And that's what we should try to do. Speaking of old songs made new again, we're going to turn to page 20 for Anabakoach, sort of a calling out to God on this bridge toward Shabbat.
תתיר צרורה קבל רינה עמך סגבנו תרנו נורא אנא בכוח גדולת ימינך תתיר צרורה קבל רינה עמך סגבנו תרנו נורא נא גיבור דורשי חודך כבבת שמרם ברכם תהרם רחמם צדקתך תמיד גמלם חסין קדוש ברוב תוכה נהל עדתך יחיד גאה למענך פנה זוכרי קדושתך שבתנו קבל ושמע צעקתנו יודע תעלומות ענה בכוח גדולת ימינך תתיר את צרורה כרמל רינת עמך סגרנו תארנו נורא תארנו נורא
We continue on page 22, as our sages before us said to Shabbat, Lacha Dodi, come my beloved, and welcoming in Shabbat like an honored guest or a beloved family member. Page 22.
Today we'll sing the last 4 verses of Lecha Dodi. Let's start at the top with Lecha Dodi that is actually not written at the top of 22, but I hope you know the words. Lecha Dodi לקראת קלה שני שבת נקבלה. Let's try again. Lecha Dodi לקראת קלה שני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקרבי מה תשתוכחי ומה תהמי ומך יחסו עניי ימי ונבנתה גידלתי לה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קלה שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קלה שבת נקבלה. והיו לי בשיסה שוסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך יאסיס עלייך אלוהייך כמסוס חתן על כלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קלה שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קלה שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי על יד איש בן פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קלה שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קלה שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת
You may be seated. We're going to conclude the Kabbalat Shabbat, the receiving, accepting, welcoming in Shabbat portion of our service with a special psalm for Shabbat, and I'd like to call up Stuart Rosenthal to deliver this prayer, to lead us in this prayer. It's on page 23, page 23.
It is good to acclaim Adonai, to sing your praise, exalted God.
To affirm your love each morning and your faithfulness each night, to the music of the lute and the melody of the harp.
Your works, Adonai, make me glad. I sing with joy of your creation.
How vast your works, Adonai! Your designs are beyond our grasp.
The thoughtless cannot comprehend, the foolish cannot fathom this.
The wicked may flourish, springing up like grass, but their doom is sealed, for you are supreme forever.
Your enemies, Adonai, your enemies shall perish. All the wicked shall crumble.
But me you have greatly exalted. I am anointed with fragrant oil. I have seen the downfall of my foes. I have heard the despair of my attackers.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they will thrive in the courts of our God.
They shall bear fruit even in old age. They shall be ever fresh and fragrant, to proclaim Adonai is just, my rock in whom there is no flaw. If you'll, Yeshua, thank you, Stuart. If you'll stay on page 23, maybe look at the facing page in Hebrew, if you'll join us in kind of the song version of this as well. I told you we sing.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, לזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי אסון עלי נבל, עלי היגיון וכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, לזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. ומה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, ומחשבותיך, מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, ועודם כמחשבותיך. יא לה 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 יא לה יא לה יא לה 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 יא לה לה יא מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך
Once again, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. If you're just joining us, welcome to Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center. We're delighted to have you here. We're delighted to have you here. We're delighted to have you any way we can get you to celebrate Shabbat and also celebrate this Simcha with the Mukherjee family of our good friend Noah becoming Bar Mitzvah. I know I'm a little early for the high holidays, but I have to confess something. And normally, it's an Ashkenazi custom. We don't start confessing things until Slichot next week. But I'm from Texas, which I think makes me an honorary Sephardi, perhaps. My confession is that I have absolutely no rhythm. And I feel bad because I tell everybody, you should clap, you should bang on the drums, you should do whatever you can just to make music with us. And I tell you this because if you don't see me clapping, it's nothing personal against you or against clapping. I miss when I clap half the time. I just go like this. So I encourage you to clap even though I'm not clapping. If you could see what my cowboy boots are doing behind here, you'd be very impressed. I'm tapping my toes until it shakes the camera. That's why that happens. So please, even if I'm not clapping, I encourage you to do so. And I want to get back to what I was talking about earlier with this idea of Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash, this imperative, grammatically speaking, and spiritually, to sing to God a new song. And the irony that we usually follow a pretty rigidly fixed liturgy. We have traditions, and that's a good thing. Right? It helps us remember where we are. We have special nusachs, and you'll hear this on Slichot as well. We have special tunes that we only sing at certain times of year. That way, when you walk into the synagogue, you know, these are the autumn holidays. This is the season of tshuva, because I only hear that at this time of year. But we can look at those traditions with new eyes. We sing old things over and over, but we have the ability, the gift, the responsibility even, to look at them with new eyes, to hear them with new ears. There's another Hadash, another Chiddush, rather, another newness, another innovation, if you will, that appears in this week's Torah portion. And I have to say, if you really want to hear something great about this week's Torah portion, make sure you come tomorrow, because our good friend Noah has been working very hard on a wonderful teaching about responsibility for a community and how that is linked to maturity. And I can't, it's not even a spoiler because I can't do it because this is his story. So he's going to give it a great one. I'm going to give a little bit of a different talk about something that he's not talking about. And that's in Deuteronomy chapter 22, on verse 8. And also, as he'll point out, there's a lot of stuff in this parsha. You know, it kind of reminds you that this is Moses' last speech to the people that he's been leading, because it's like dropping the kids off at college. You have the big speech, and then as like the station wagon's about to pull away, as the kids are getting off to their orientation, as the dorm doors are closing, you're like, oh, by the way, always match your socks. You just like every little thing that you can think of. Like you start running through this list of all the things that you forgot to tell them in the last 18 years. And so you have a lot of things. Don't take too many grapes. No, we'll talk about that tomorrow. You know, when somebody's ox breaks down, don't just pass by them. Help them. When you see a bird's nest and you're hungry, don't just, and the mother bird is there, don't just take the eggs. If you must have the eggs, shoo the mother bird away so that she doesn't have to witness you taking the eggs. And then there's this. Speaking of Chiddush. Ki tivnei bait chadash. When you build a new house, v'asita ma'akeh legagecha, and you make on it a roof, highly recommended for any new house, by the way. V'lo tasim damim beveitecha, ki yipol hanofel mimenu. When you build a new house, you shall make a parapet for your roof. For the non-castle builders and architects out there, a parapet is that little fence along the edge of the roof, especially in the ancient Near East, where most roofs were flat, because people would dry food out there, they would hang out there, they would sleep out there when the weather was nice. Everybody had a flat roof. When you build a new house with a flat roof, you build a fence around it. Just one of the rules, just one of our rules. So that you do not bring blood guilt on your house if anyone should fall from it. When you build a new house, you are responsible for everyone in it. And P.S., like singing a new song, even if it's an old song, you can always sing it fresh, meaning you are always responsible. When you build a new house, isn't just when you are putting down the foundation. Every time somebody is new to your house, you need to make sure that fence is there. You need to make sure it's sturdy. Maimonides takes it one step further and says, okay, the fence has to be 10 handbreadths high, and it has to be strong enough so that when somebody leans on it, it doesn't fall over. It must be strong enough to hold up anybody who might lean on it. Just as we are always building a new house, every time we bring new life into a home, we are always, always responsible for the life in that home. And we must take measures to make the protection strong enough. You could ask the question, well, gosh, isn't anyone going up on that roof responsible for their own safety? Aren't they taking their life into their hands? Can't I trust them not to step off a roof? Because only a silly person would do that. Why aren't people on the roof responsible for themselves? And I promised myself when I had children I would never use the line, because I'm your father and I said so. But sometimes it does save time, especially when traffic is involved. But I can say the Torah doesn't waste words. Why does it have to say, no, you're responsible for the people on your roof? because common sense might have steered us otherwise. The Rashi and the other commentators are full of lines like, lest you think that you can trust people, or lest you think that trusting people means that you're no longer responsible for them. We have this line, if it's your house, the fence is your responsibility. And by the way, you are always building it again. That's why Torah calls this out. What we think is obvious, what we think is personal responsibility. What we think is mine is mine and yours is yours, as Pirkei Avot says, that's midat stom. That's the attitude of a despicable city. That's not the case for us. We are better than that. So to be clear, many synagogues, and I know this sounds a little bit like last week, but we still live in this world. Many synagogues are making decisions right now about safety in the coming high holidays. This synagogue is still making decisions right now about the coming high holidays. And for the sake of people who don't read every email we send, I get it. Neither do I. There is a board meeting this Wednesday that's going to make some very important decisions about how we are keeping each other safe for this high holidays. And I want to encourage you to attend. I want to encourage you, if you can't attend, to find a board member and tell them how you feel so that they could make a decision on your behalf as they are charged to do. We build this house anew. Even though we do so many things like we did before, sometimes there's times that we can't. We are building this house anew. We are responsible for the safety of everyone in it. And I ask you to please participate in that process. You have that power. You have the creativity to make it work. And you have that responsibility. Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for joining us at PJTC. I'd like us to continue with the Ma'ariv service. On page 28, we're going to rise and face the ark for our call to blessing the Baruch Hu, led by Noah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai.
Uma'avir yom u'mevin laila. Umavdio ben yom uvein laila. Adonai tzevaot shemo. El chai v'kayam. Tamidim loch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch Shemo.
Ha'ma'ariv aravim.
Amen. You may be seated. We've blessed God for the light that God brings to our life. We now bless God for the constancy of God's love on page 29, Havat Olam, 29.
ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו. יומם ולילה נגד יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
We go to Noah for the Shema on page 30.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levacha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'ribartam bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uletecha v'derech u'shofbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'chayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha.
You continue at your own pace in the bottom of page 30, and we'll get back together in just a moment. We join together at the top of page 31 as Noah leads us.
Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor, Daber el bnei Yisrael, ve'amarta alehem, ve'asu lahem tzitzit, al kanfei vigdehem ledorotam, ve'natnu al tzitzit hakana petil techelet, ve'haya lachem letzitzit uritem oto, uzkartem et kol mitzvot Adonai, va'asitem otam, ve'lo taturu acharei levachem ve'acharei einechem, asher atem tzonim achareichem, leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'ritem kedoshim leloheichem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, v'yod lahem lelohim.
Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem, Emet.
We're on page 32. Page 32, we bless God for the abundance of light and for the abundance of God's love. We now bless God's abundance as a Redeemer, answering us when we call.
Isn't it nice to daven when a lot of people are here? This is super cool. Really excited. Let's join together in the middle of the page. Most of you know the melody. It's not a traditional Micha Mocha melody, but it'll do. La 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 la, ya la 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 la.
צדקותיך ראו בניך בוקר הים לפני משה ומרים וכולם זה לי ענו ואמרו זה לי ענו ואמרו
אדוני
ימלוך לעולם לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם לעולם ועד. Join together. ונאמר כי פד אדוני את יעקב וגאה לו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני
ברוך שמו
גל ישראל.
The final blessing after the Shema blesses God for helping us to lie down in peace. The Hashkivenu on page 33. I'd like to call up Clark Lingstone to lead us. Page 33.
Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace, and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us, our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and going. Grant us life and peace, now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all his people, Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Amen. And Yashikah Clark. We're going to now offer the same prayer in song, page 33, Hashkivenu. Please join us.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור Shalom, Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Amideinu, Malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Amideinu, Shomreinu lechaim. ברוך אתה אדוני,
Baruch Shemo.
הבורא סוכת שלום עלינו, ואל כל עמו ישראל, ואל כל יושבי תבל, ואל ירושלים.
We continue singing of Shabbat on page 34, page 34.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בואי 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 ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים והארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
We go to Noah for the Hatzi Kaddish on page 34.
34. Okay, sorry. Okay. Yitkada veyitkada shemei rabba.
Amen.
Ve'alma divra kiru. Hey, ve'lich malchutei.
וחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב.
Vimeru.
אמן. יהא שמרה במבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה יתברך.
Yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei kudesha
בריחו
le'ela mikol berchata v'shirata
ושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה.
V'yimeru.
Amen. We rise for the Amidah for Shabbat evening on page 35b. This is a private Amidah, so we have some moment of quiet meditation and your personal prayer. You can begin on page 35b. When you're finished with your private prayer, you may be seated, and we'll get back together in a couple of moments.
והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגורלי אמן. Together. עושה שלום, שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, אמן, אמן. עושה שלום, שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. ועל כל ישראל, amen.
Noah will lead us in the Kaddish Shalem on page 48. Page 48.
יתקדש ויקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
ועמדי ורקיותי ועמיך מלכותי, וחייכון ויומכון ובחייתך בישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו.
אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי דקודשה.
בריחו
לעילם מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תאמירם בעלמא ואמרו.
אמן.
יתגבל סרטון ובעוטון, דרכו ישראל, קודם אבוכון דשבי שמיה ואמרו.
Amen.
יהי שלום רבה משמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו.
אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל.
ואמרו.
Amen.
We're about to begin to end the service with Aleinu on page 51. I'd like to call up Sarah Madd and Max Mickelson and Sam and Anna McCurgy to open the ark for us for Aleinu. Everyone else, please rise and face the ark, and we turn to page 51. Page 51.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסף את השם. על כן נקווה לך אדוני אלוהינו יראות מרב תפארת עוזך עליו יגנים לארץ. כי המלכות שלך היא, ולעולמי עד תמלוך בכבוד. ככתוב את תורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
Please remain standing as the ark is closed. Yashkoak, everybody. The ark is closed. You may be seated. It's when we are gathered in times of joy like this when we perhaps most acutely feel the absence of those who are no longer with us. Here at PJTC in the coming week, we're marking the yahrzeit, and that is the anniversary of the passing of Belle Levin, Berenica Rappaport, David Strauss, Edward Martin, Elaine Dixon, Elaine Miller, Estelle Sofer, Francis Goldberg, Frida Fishman, Frida Tatkin, Frida Woolman, George Schaefer, Henry Unger, Irene Levine, Irving Teitelbaum, Erwin Grader, Isaac Goldfein, Israel Freidkin, Jeffrey Michaels, Joel Zickman, Judith Barron, Judith Weiner, Jules Tregars, Laura Feiner, Louis Searle, Louise Zimmerman, Max Hassman, Milton Bogad, Mordecai Greenspan, Nathan Green, Rachel Goodstein, Robert Siegel, Samuel Berkowitz, Thelma Lipton, and William Farmer. Our community is also in mourning for the loss of Winston Ho, father of Ofer Ho, grandfather of Max, Maggie, and Miranda Ho, who passed away on August 14th. Funeral services were held in Israel. Zoom Shivat will take place this Sunday. We pray that Winston's memory be a blessing, and Hamakom Yenachem, may God comfort and strengthen his whole family at this time. I'll ask that if you are in mourning or observing a yahrzeit and you wish to, please rise for Mourner's Kaddish. We're on page 52. Page 52. Let's pray together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Ba'alma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye b'kol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach leolam lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha brichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran b'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. You may be seated. We move from kavod, from honor, to simcha, joy, and we have a number of presentations for our good friend Noah from the USY, from Sisterhood, and also from Men's Club. First, I'd like to invite up Ellie Mendel to make a presentation on behalf of the USY, our youth group.
Hi Noah, I'm Ellie and I'm here to speak on behalf of USY. Firstly, I would like to say Mazel Tov. You did an incredible job tonight and I can't wait to see you do even better tomorrow. As a family friend and teacher's assistant for your Kita Zion class, I personally know how hard you've worked for this moment. From being dragged to soccer games that you and my brother played in, to seeing you every week at religious school, I've gotten the opportunity to watch you grow and become the person you are today. So now I am super proud to present you with your very own Bakol Echad. A Bakol Echad is a songbook used at regional USY events during Ruach and Sloach. Ruach is more free-spirited, whereas Sloach is more calm and reflective. Now that you have your own Bakol Echad, I can't wait to see you at future USY events, including USY's outdoor movie night opening event on September 11th. Good luck tomorrow. I know you're going to do great.
Yashkoach. And now I'd like to call up Judy Callahan, who has a presentation on behalf of our sisterhood.
Noah, I have known your family for a very long time. Both your mother and your aunt were students of mine. You and your siblings and Max were all at B'nai Simcha. So I have literally seen your family grow up. And more recently, I got to know your great-grandparents, your great-grandfather of blessed memory, and your great-grandmother Ruth, who is a force of nature and just a phenomenal person. I am impressed by your athletic skills. I know you love tennis. I know you play clarinet, and you love the band. But what impresses me the most is how I've watched you with your great-grandparents and with your siblings and with Max, the role model you are. You have always been patient and have truly set a good example for them and have been part of their lives in a really positive way. And that's something that's really special. I know you're going to do wonderfully tomorrow. You've already done wonderfully tonight. And I am looking forward to watching you grow into a wonderful man now that I guess as of tonight you are a Jewish man, but there's more to come. This is a Kiddush cup that you are going to take with you wherever you go. And when you make Kiddush, I hope you think about everyone who is here and there and how wonderful this evening has been and how wonderful tomorrow will be. Mazal tov. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you, Judy. Yashikoach, Judy. Line of the night, there's more to come. I'd now like to call up Jack Singer on Zoom, who's going to make a presentation on behalf of our men's club.
Noah, the last time I saw you, you were just a young child, and it was at your grandma Karen's house where our families used to get together for dinner on Erev Rosh Hashanah. And now here you are about to enter your adulthood according to our tradition. I know you've been working towards this moment for a long time because you had to postpone your bar mitzvah from April of last year to now due to the pandemic. You also had to learn 2 Torah and Haftorah portions, which is no easy task. And you did this while also playing the clarinet in your school's marching band, being a mentor in their Where Everyone Belongs program at your middle school, and you plan to volunteer for the Acing Autism program while you're in high school. And doing all these things while also playing your favorite sport of tennis, which apparently means that your grandma Karen didn't get you hooked on golf. But I think in most cases, the things that take longer to achieve in life are the ones you most appreciate and remember. I know your family is very proud of you and all the work you've put in to get to this point in your life. So I congratulate you, and it's with great pleasure and admiration that I get to present you on behalf of the Men's Club, your own yad, which I hope you use tomorrow when you read from the Torah. So mazel tov to you and your family, and may you go from strength to strength.
Thank you.
Yashikoach, Jack, and thank you very much. And we are, in a moment, we're going to end this service like we began this service, and that is in joyful song. And I'll invite you all to rise as we sing our way out of here, but don't get out of here just yet, because we're going to make Kiddush. The family's going to make Kiddush up here on everybody's behalf. And then after that, you're all invited outside. We've got some Kiddush stuff and some treats set up outside, and we can all schmooze in the fresh air and say hi to the peacocks. But first, let's do some singing.
Peacocks.
I love peacocks.
Let's join together. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shalom, shalom. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shalom, shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom. Woo!
Good Shabbos, everybody. I want to invite up Noah's parents and brother and sister up here to make Kiddush with us. I'll bring the washing cup. If anybody at home wants to make Kiddush with us, feel free to grab wine, juice, Dr. Pepper, whatever it is you celebrate with. Grab a cup of that and join us right back here. Well, I get one too. Make sure Noah gets the big cup.
Sam.
Okay.
Here. Yeah, hold it for him.
Hey, we're getting everyone situated. Cool, big boy. Okay, let's join together.
Let's see his kippah.
ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. Together, ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו. ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת עם כל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלת. lift it up. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
All right, if you're at home and you wish to wash before Motzi, go right ahead. I'll wash on everybody's behalf here. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim.
Amen. And now you guys can pick up the challah right below. That's mom's job usually. Yeah, good job. And let's uncover it and show it up there everywhere in Zoomland and here too. And together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. No, I take a little piece. Woo! Shechianu, Mazel Tov. Shabbat Shalom. There's
Shabbat
plenty of
Shalom.
challah and kiddush outside.
Mazel tov to the family, Mazel tov, and thank you everybody for being here to celebrate Shabbat with us. We will see you outside.
Wow, 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 wow. Dong, 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 dong. If one of the Zoom Gabayim can put it in gallery view, then everyone can see everyone.
Mazel tov.